Well, everyone, special occasion. I'm in Los Angeles right now for Summer Games Fest, and as a result, I'm in a hotel room. And also, as a fun little perk, you get to see CAF for the first time in a long time. So there you go, enjoy it. But while you're enjoying that, we should also together enjoy the Mafia, the Old Country trailer, because 2K were G's, as it were, and hooked me up with early access to the trailer. It is actually Thursday, so the day before the trailer is, as I understand it, scheduled to drop. But they hooked me up with access to it so I could film my reaction to it before Summer Games Fest, which is nice because obviously when I'm sitting in the theater, I won't be able to just have a reaction ready when it goes up on the Summer Games Fest stage. But I want to look at it, I want to react to it, share this experience with you because obviously I'm a big fan of Mafia. This is not a surprise to anybody. I've been very, very open about that for a long time. And the reason I love these games is for the stories, it's for the narratives, and historically the gameplay has been sort of a weaker point. So as we go through the trailer, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for that. I'd like to see little hints of that, but as I understand it, this is a story trailer. So it's not focused on gameplay, and it's probably not fair of us to hold that against it. That's not the point of this trailer. But with all that said, let's see what we're dealing with.
Betrayal burns because it can only come from someone close. An enemy can't hurt you like a friend.
Who are you?
Sono Enzo. I work here.
My friends, my family, my beautiful daughter.
Pause. Already, it looks graphically phenomenal, but the thing to note is that they are saying this is running on a PC. It is cinematics, it is not actual gameplay, which is important to distinguish because a lot of people will probably be playing this on a base PS5 or Series X or something, and as a result, it probably doesn't look quite this good. My guess is it maybe has some of the texture quality dialed down, resolution might be lower, things like that. But all that said, it's important to note they are clarifying this is running on PC, which suggests this is the best case scenario, okay? This is not they're not trying to show a more realistic portrayal. This is top high-end gear, I would guess, to achieve these graphics. But it's very nice to see that if you have the hardware to run it, it can look phenomenal because this looks phenomenal. Continuing.
Isabella.
Don Torrisi looks out for people around here. Sometimes the client is feeling less than cooperative and we need to,
teach them a lesson.
remind them of their obligations.
This is between us and Spadaro.
Where I come from, commitment means everything. If this is how he wants it, this is how it'll be.
The Dons noticed you, Enzo. This is an opportunity.
Do you wish to commit to this family?
Enzo! We can't let them get away!
When Isabella became involved, it became our business.
He died for my father, for his honor. I won't let you do the same.
We have a traitor.
This stays between me and you. This family, loyalty is everything.
We do not always get to choose what we do.
We can choose who we are.
And who are you, Enzo?
Daddy, maybe? Who knows? Oh, there you go. I think graphically, get the things out of the way up front. Graphically, it looks very, very good. In terms of structure and layout, I'm actually getting the vibe that this is, again, much closer to a definitive edition Mafia game than it is to Mafia 3, which I think for most people is a good thing. That's exciting because Mafia 3 represented sort of a departure or maybe a doubling down in a way. But I think Mafia 3 for many, in many ways, took the franchise down a path that I don't think it was greatly suited for. You know, it was a game trying to be this big open world adventure game, when that's just not been what Mafia's ever been good at. It just hasn't. So I think that this is a much better direction. They've said that it's going to be linear. They said it's going to be tighter in scope. On the podcast I do with Joel Raptor, he has a sneaking suspicion this game is going to be way shorter than people are expecting. He was suggesting it could be as short as like 7-8 hours. And I'm not sure if I buy that. It is priced at $50. I can see the argument for why it might be there. But honestly, I would much rather a really good, tight, polished, high, like budget 8-hour story than a 20-hour bloated monstrosity that had 15 hours of worthlessness. So whether that means it's worth $50 to you is of course a separate question, but I would rather have something lean that is high quality throughout than something filled with bloat just to hit arbitrary like hour markers and stuff. But it's gonna be interesting to see. We see, of course, a secondary cast of characters, presumably a love interest, the Dawn, and we know some things that have been suggested in terms of the story, how this ties into the other games. And no spoilers, because it seriously is one of the coolest reveals in gaming that I can think of. Mafia is historically, they've been at least very, very good at tying these stories together, at tying the experiences together. If you've played them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The end of Mafia 1, leading into 2, and then even leading into 3, some of the stuff they did to integrate the previous games. But I'm seeing little snippets and little things that get my gears turning for how this is gonna tie into like Mafia Definitive Edition, considering this is like a prequel to all of that. And it gets me excited. I like it. Now, of course, we still have not seen gameplay, and the game is out in like 7-8 weeks. I can't count, but it's out in early August. And considering it's coming August 8th and we still haven't seen any gameplay, I don't love that. I'd like to see at least a little something, a gameplay trailer. It can even be just like 2-3 minutes long. Just something to show, I think, more realistically what we will be doing when we play. Of course, the previous trailer showed clips running and gunning and some basic cover-based shooting, but it didn't have any on-screen UI. It didn't have anything like that, and it was pretty clearly cut for the trailer. So it's not really indicative of what I think the true gameplay will present players. But you know, other than that, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see Hangar 13 coming back. I'm excited to see them working on something fresh and different. And I mean, in a lot of ways, this represents a potential for a comeback and sort of a redemption arc, because after Mafia 3, they were in a tough spot. I mean, that did not go well. And I think a lot of people perhaps fairly assumed that the studio would not be long for this world, but they held out. They did go through some waves of layoffs and they had some problems, but they're now releasing a new game. And after Definitive Edition proved pretty successful, they got greenlit for this, and I really hope they pull it off. I really do. I mean, I was rooting for BioWare to figure out how to pull off a Dragon Age redemption. I think everybody was hoping that we'd get like this old studio everybody used to love and could rely on, that they would come back and all of a sudden prove they still got it. And I really hope that that's what this is, and they don't pull a Dragon Age. They don't screw it up. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm really optimistic, cautiously optimistic. And I think the trailer looks really, really good. All I wanna see is more gameplay. And honestly, when you see a trailer and it excites you and you just wanna see more, that's frankly exactly what a trailer is supposed to do. So I think they're successful there. So I'm very, very excited. I'm intrigued. I want to see more. And it makes me wonder, because now there's been like not a gameplay deep dive or anything. It makes me wonder, are we going to see something in like July for the game? And we know that there's going to be a Ghost of Yote gameplay deep dive. It makes me pause and wonder, is there going to be like a PlayStation showcase in July? Is that what they're setting up for, like some bigger title first party stuff and Mafia and maybe 1 or 2 other games that are going to be showcased there? It makes me wonder. Or maybe the strategy for this is honestly to just go and release the game with minimal exposure when it comes to marketing, which may be a decent idea, frankly. Like, as somebody that directly, like, my content does better when I have more stuff to work with. I benefit from more marketing, from more exposure, more gameplay, trailers, more of that. But they might be looking at this stuff with like Dragon Age and some other games like AC Shadows, and they may be pausing and wondering, maybe less is more, and we do one trailer for the story, one trailer doing a gameplay deep dive closer to launch, And we just don't put our foot in our mouth. We don't show too much, and we just show enough to get people excited and let the game go and speak for itself. Maybe that's the new strategy for some of these companies. May not be a bad idea, frankly, because I think there's been plenty of examples. Star Wars Outlaws probably being the biggest one, where I think that game was over-marketed. I think they spent too much time, too much money, showed too much, even some stuff that wasn't great, warts and all, and it really gave people a lot of things to poke holes in. So it might be a good strategy to go a little bit leaner on the marketing cycle for this, especially if it is shorter, but I don't know. These are just thoughts pouring out of my head. I'm just excited. And like I said, I'm here in LA. I am excited for Summer Games Fest and Play Days and the Xbox Showcase. It's gonna be awesome. And the only reason I get to do it is because you guys watch, support me and the team, and we are eternally grateful for that. I'm here at this hotel with Jacob, with Trevor, our shorts editor and clips channel editor, my manager Jake. I mean, we're having a wonderful time. And again, it's because of you guys. So truly, truly, thank you. Lots more content coming out over the next handful of days with everything we're gonna see. Some big surprises too that I've heard rumblings about, and I can't wait to share with you. But until then, my friends, much love. Thanks for watching. Hugs and kisses. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
He took my thing.